Hey everyone, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Class 1A podcast. Because today, instead of walking through and doing a normal podcast, today we're actually two very big and important business people approaching Shonen Jump with our ideas for the next big collaborations for the My Hero Academia brand. Me, Andrew Nimsgren, aka Big Business, and Dylan Beal, aka Big Business number 2. We are going to be presenting our ideas for partnerships, collaborations, things like that that we would love to see My Hero take. Obviously, we're approaching Shonen Jump because they're really the big company over in the West that kind of manages a lot of these things. So these are going to be our 5 ideas of what we would love to see. So before we do dive into that, if you guys are looking for other My Hero Academia content, we do weird videos kind of like this. We do manga recaps, lore recaps, all kinds of things like that. All kinds of My Hero stuff over on our youtube.com/C1Class1A. So make sure to check that out or go over to twitter.com/Class1A pod to keep up to date with everything that we're doing. But Mr. Big Business 2, why don't you jump into your very first idea for a collaboration we would love to see for My Hero Academia?
All right, so we're here to make Shonen Jump some big bucks. And I think the easiest way to do that is to approach Japan's #1 clothing store. It's cheap, it's easy, people are going to buy it. It's Uniqlo. You know it, I love it. We all go to it. It's in America, it's in Japan, it's where the fans are. And something they've been doing for the past couple of years is doing collabs with other anime. So we've been seeing a lot of like minimalist anime shirts in Uniqlo. And I think My Hero is perfectly ripe for it.
And we know you have a couple of mocks ready to pull up on screen, right?
Of course. I have a couple up here. But in case you can't see it, let's just go into theater of the mind a little bit. Think about a nice t-shirt. It's nice, it's soft, it's comfy. You have it. It's green, but not just any green. It's like a bluish green. Of course, it is Deku's green. It's very minimalist. It has maybe a pocket on the on the left side, and maybe on the back it has like a little symbol, just a little tiny symbol. Try to keep it minimalist, so that way you can wear it out on the town. But if a fellow weeb sees it, they know that's Deku green that you're wearing. Or maybe green's not your style. Maybe instead you want to be bright. You want to be flashy like our friend James. He's always wearing the bright colors. Maybe you want the yellow goldish color of All Might. Again, we have a nice little embroidery on like the pocket area of just the 2 iconic All Might hair strands. But maybe you're not a hero kind of guy. Maybe you're a little bit edgy. Maybe you like to change it up. You like to go with some different colors. Maybe you want to see purple. Maybe you want that Shigaraki t-shirt. Maybe it has a couple hands around. Just the hands though. Just a little bit so you know that you're a villain too.
Wait, what color? So does Dobby? I thought when you went purple, I definitely thought that was going to be Dobby. Is Shigaraki actually purple?
It's blue. I think it's blue purple. It's something like that. We'll send it to the artist. We'll get their ideas for it.
Yeah, and for those of you that actually are just listening, he did not have any mocks up on the screen. Just so you are aware, that is all just bullshit that he came up with on the spot because I put him there.
Okay, we're not going to put our ideas out there so people would just steal them. We'll put some watermarks and stuff.
Because I'm sure Uniqlo, a multi-million, billion-dollar company, definitely doesn't have designers probably already working on this with those exact ideas. But to get back on gear, I apologize for taking off course. With my first idea, there is nothing more anime recently than streetwear. These two go hand in hand. And what is the shoe of streetwear? It's gotta be Jordans. I mean, I can go on with the same kind of ideas of that Dylan was going on, making things up on the spot, but you guys can just envision what they look like. We have seen so many gaming anime kind of collaborations from Jordans in the past couple years between Gundam. We've seen PlayStation ones with Paul George. We've seen all kinds of different shoes coming out, bleeding more towards the anime side because everyone knows how big streetwear is getting in. So you can have the Deku, All Might, Bakugo, Todoroki. I mean, it's just different colorways. You can pretty much do any character you want with a little bit of writing. You can even do a UA version with the logo on the back or something kind of like that. Jordans, I feel like, are some of the shoes that have the most possibilities for kind of, even though they're very limited in what they can customize, it's such a good brand for being able to still understand exactly what you're doing. If you go look at the Gundam ones, if you guys have not seen the Gundam ones, that is the perfect kind of collaboration of an anime Jordan shoe. I definitely think My Hero, being as big of a brand as it is, can definitely have the same kind of little bit of variation to it that would make it some really cool shoes. So I'm not going to be making up things on the spot, but I'm sure the second you heard it, you had a couple ideas in your head yourself.
I mean, like, Deku, it's perfect for Deku, right? Like, his whole thing is the
You
shoes,
could
and
literally just
like,
make his shoes in Jordans.
yeah, and like his shoes, I think are probably like they're like Jordans, but not Jordans, right? Like they're at least like you look at them and it's kind of like a wink and a nod of like, if this was the real world, he would be wearing Jordans.
Yeah, which I love, and I just think it honestly feels like the most. I mean, Uniqlo feels very practical too, but I think Uniqlo and Jordans are two of the ones out of all the dyes we have that feel like the most common or like most practical because Uniqlo just did Demon Slayer last year, and I feel like Demon Slayer and they've done Haikyuu. I mean, they've done a lot, so I really feel like Uniqlo happening there. And Jordan, I mean, I never would have thought there was going to be a Gundam pair of Jordans. Gundam's been around for 30, 40 years though. I have no idea how long Gundam's actually been. At least 20 years.
50.
Really? So
Yeah.
I guess it took 50 years for it to get a pair of Jordans, but I feel like anime is just so big in street culture right now that, I mean, at the new job I'm working at, they even say like, oh yeah, like they try targeting anime and streetwear in the same targeting because of how tied they are in terms of like demographics and stuff right now. So I think both of them are practical. And if they happen within the next 5 years, I wouldn't be blown away. Like they did take our ideas, yes, absolutely, because we were the first people to think these. But I think they're both completely practical.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just like, oh, imagine this collab and how cool it could be. Like, you can go online and see what these would look like. I mean, people have taken like plain Jordans, and not only just Jordans, but like they've taken Vans and like even Converse, like very, very common, like different like shoe lines, and they've made My Hero versions of them. So you could like see what they could look like. Because I think Jordans totally makes sense. I think something like Vans or even Converse, like you can get a My Hero collab there, and it would be really good. And we know it'd be good because we've seen people do it before.
Yeah, which is, I mean, these two were kind of the easy gimme ones. I think the next ones might be a little bit more unique, but these were definitely the easy ones though. And obviously, anyone that's a My Hero fan wants more My Hero Academia merch, and I think these are the two of the brands that would do it the best. But going back to the actual presentation, what is your next idea, Mr. Big Business 2?
Okay, so my idea, I want you again, I'm going to need you to think for a second. Go back to a simpler time. A worse time? Yes, but simpler time. 1962. Heroes are on the rise in America. Comics are blowing up like crazy. The Amazing Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, DC, Marvel, Shonen Jump, All Might, Endeavor. Think about it for a second. What if we did like a classic take on like old comic books, but with the heroes that we know and love? I'm talking about like the Unstoppable Endeavor, of where it's like that old style, small comic, kind of pulpy. It's like 10 cents. It looks like it was made for 10 cents. Like the paper is like that off-white kind of color. The symbol of peace, All Might, like these classic like envisionings of superheroes, but with the My Hero Academia characters. I think it could be like a really good like bit of where you can kind of play it up because it's like satire, or I guess parody or satire, of where you're trying to go one for one with the feel of the old comics, but everyone reading it, like obviously that it's kind of a joke. And I think it'd be a really like fun way to play into the superhero trope and just get another way to view the medium. I'm envisioning like Endeavor fighting like somebody like Dobby, right? Of where it's like kind of abstracted, of where it's not literally what's going on in the story, but it's like maybe like a reimagining of like one of their fights or something, but through like the classic superhero, like literally like punch and is like blam, like a big interrobang. Is that what it's called? Something like that. But yeah, like the just the classic style. I think it could be really good. You can do one for like All Might, Endeavor, Best Genius. I think would be a really good one to do it for. Obviously, Deku has to have one. But you do one for like a lot of the big heroes in My Hero. Easy sell, and you can sell them as a big package together.
Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, I think this is obviously the medium that transfers over identical. My Hero, I mean, that's okay. So not to say everyone. Some people only watch the anime, but I think a lot of the My Hero fan base reads the manga as well, and that it is the nice part about manga transferring over to comic books is everyone's already used to reading everything in short, kind of comic book like styles. Obviously, the Japanese kind of style of it. There are differences thematically and just how it's laid out, but it's already a medium that people are very, very used to. So they're kind of transferring over. And hell, you can still even release it on the Shonen Jump app. It would be a little bit different. Maybe they still have it going, right to left, whatever method it is, instead of left to right, like how you do it in the US with normal comic books, because I feel like it'd be weird to mix that up on their platform. But I think it's an easy sell. You already have the platform to sell it. I think it would be very fun. I mean, you can even just make up bullshit villains that mean nothing to it, too. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be Dobby. I think part of that could be, but Endeavor going against a powerful water villain. Like, oh no, how is he going to do it? Fire versus water. Like, you're supposed to lose it and stuff kind of like that. I think it would be fun. And we've already seen My Hero very open to doing stuff like this. I mean, I think team up missions would be the manga version of this. It's just kind of fun stories, putting different heroes together, going against random villains that really mean nothing for the story. I think they're already open to it. So just transferring over and kind of changing up the art style a little bit, or even just how it's laid out, and kind of doing the more cheesy one. I'd love that. I mean, I've never really been one for comics, but comics are kind of blowing up again. I think with it making it so easy to read online, I think it's super cool, and I think it'd be so much fun.
And people love throwbacks. People love throwbacks.
I don't know why, but all right. Is that the last one that you had, Dylan? Because I
That
have a
is.
couple more.
Let's go. Let's get into them.
So the first one I want to go with is, let's be honest, I'm a gamer. Dylan's a gamer. People listening, you're probably gamers. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? The world will never know. But we are, so we have to accept it that gamers are anime fans too. So what do we need? We need peripherals. We need chairs. We need everything we can get. I think the easiest idea is going to be the chairs. So right now, I have a Secret Labs one. It's one of the world's 2017 ones. But Dylan has one too. Do you know how easy it would be to give it those UA colors, put the giant UA logo on the back of it, sell for $500? Easy sell. You know how many
Easy.
people would buy that? And then the same thing, different kind of ones. I mean, I think we just seen, as a character one, for example, they just released a Jinx one. So it has some character designs. I mean, for a Bakugo one, you could just put Bakugo across the back, a couple explosions, show his grenade hands, make it black and orange. So easy. I think it's things like that. Or even nowadays, people are really getting into keyboards too, and these more specialty ones. I wouldn't say he goes complicated as making little keycaps look like Bakugo, but he could do color variations and all kinds of different things that people would absolutely love, because it doesn't scream My Hero Academia. I guess the chairs could, but the keyboards, the mouse, and stuff like that, you can kind of do variations where it still fits into setups, because people care very much about the aesthetics of their setups, while still having that My Hero Academia flair for people that kind of want to go up. Even mouse pads, things like that. I think some of it probably exists already, if we're being honest, but I would love to see, I guess Secret Labs would be the collaboration here I specifically love, of them doing a couple character ones, a Todoroki, a Bakugo, a Deku one. I think it would be super cool. I think they'd be super easy to kind of do. And I think people would honestly buy them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy, especially if you when you open it up to other partnerships as well, like keyboards and whatnot. Even if we didn't do a partnership with a keyboard company, people that get the Deku chair, they're gonna buy the custom keycaps.
Yeah, I
They're
was about
gonna
to say,
make
just
their
go
setup
sell
Deku.
keycaps. Don't even worry about the keyboard. Just sell keycaps. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
almost the
people
easier way
people
to
will
do
do
it.
that. People like their characters in My Hero, and if you give them outlets to be fans of those heroes, they're gonna flex it. They're gonna flex it hard in their setup. Because I always feel like for people who are at their computers for a very long time, your setup is a reflection of your personality in some way, and we've's got to flex the anime stuff on there.
I do have an anime mouse pad, so I completely agree on that.
Yep, I got a big Ava one right here. So
But all right, so I have one last idea. And we've talked about some throwbacks or things kind of coming back into style. I think one thing that has never gone out of style, but is getting more popular again, is Legos. I haven't seen many different anime based Lego sets, but I don't know why. I think it'd be fun. I think it's super easy to sell. And I think the amount of sets you can do are countless. Going anything from just a classroom with everyone sitting around to a couple of the big moments from the series, including possibly the overhaul fight, maybe the All Might versus All for One fight. There's so many different sets you can set up, or you can just kind of do a random broken down cityscape with heroes and villains. I think there's so many variations, and even nowadays, Lego just does a very small one. You can just do a very small box. They're usually this big. I think I don't have it near me, but it's I have a little Han Solo one on a very mini Millennium Falcon. You could do that with My Hero Academia as well. Just do a very small set of All Might and All for One showing off. It fits on like a 10 by 10 little Lego set. You do a couple background decorations, and that's super cool. I think people use them a lot more for kind of room decorations because Legos are getting more complicated and they're looking better. That's another way. People are going to flex their fandoms, and I think that's an easy one because statues and all that kind of stuff. It feels weird if you have 15 statues sometimes, but if you have 5 statues, 5 Lego sets, a couple of different books, and all that kind of stuff, and kind of spread out your fandom, it can feel more natural rather than having to find a spot for 15 of the same different things. So, got a spare shelf, fill those puppies with My Hero Academia Legos, and you are set.
Okay, here's the one that I really want. I want the small set, like the 10 by 10 or whatever.
Yep.
It is just like a street, but it's not just a street. It's the Deku versus Bakugo fight number 2 street.
Yeah.
That would be an iconic one to get. That'd be so good.
These are even starting to do too. Like I think the big moment is when obviously when Deku like kind of blocks Bakugo coming down. You like they're getting better about kind of including little clear sets you can kind of set
Yep.
up in the sky. Like you could absolutely kind of do like there's probably like actual like figures and stuff like that too. But you could do the exact same thing in Lego and it would look so cool. Because yeah, I think that's why it's kind of becoming more of a background piece. Like I never really thought I would be displaying Legos in my room, but I have a couple shelves up in my bedroom where I have like a Harry Potter one or two that I kind of look better and they're just kind of cleaner sets. So I think it's something that's definitely possible. But I guess
Well,
maybe correct me in the wrong in the comments, but I don't really think I've ever really seen any animated Lego sets. Have you? I don't
I
know why. Isn't Lego a Japanese company or is that a US company?
no, it's I'm pretty for some reason I want to say it's a European company because Lego
Really?
feels like a European thing. I don't know for sure though. Um, but yeah, I don't think I've seen very many. And if we've seen them, they are probably just like One Piece or Naruto
Yeah.
back in the day. I think there is a gap between like that, like when Naruto and One Piece were coming out of where it could have been there, and then like a gap of where it definitely wasn't, and then maybe something here.
We should
But
petition a set. So, like you can design your own set like in an editor and then like submit it to Lego and if it gets enough upvotes, they'll make
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, so like the Millennium Falcon, right, is
Yeah.
like the premium Star Wars set,
And the
right?
Death
Like
and the
that,
Death Star too. I
and the
should
Death
say
Star,
both of
like
those.
those are the premium ones. What is the premium My Hero one? What is the big set that costs a ton of money that like everyone wants to get? That's super cool.
The giant UA campus.
It has to be UA Campus, right? It has to be
I
UA
think it
Campus.
could be that, or it's kind of a condensed Camino arc. So it could be like two
Ooh,
buildings, one where you have kind of the building in shambles with All Might and All for One standing in
the
front of
bar,
it,
right?
and then the second one is the bar. So you kind of have both those. You have a bunch of heroes and villains. I think those would be kind of the two different variations. Maybe you could do something with the Shihasuke base as well. Again, very condensed. Put a wall up. So one room is the Mirio Deku overall fight. One is the Fat Gum and Kirishima versus the Spear and Sword. I can't think what their names are right now. Amajiki versus a couple villains. I think you could just put up walls between them. Would be the couple there. I can't think of anything other big
Yeah,
ones. I think
I
there'll be
think
some big ones coming up. But as of right now, where we're at, I think those would be the couple of bigger ones.
yeah, and I can totally see that, like, these are out for like a couple years, whatever. Like a couple sets have come out, characters are coming out, and somebody on like our Lego is like, I've got all the sets, and I just had to do this one thing, and it's the war arc of like they take every single character and they set them up like in the war arc or something.
That'd be super cool. But that's really the ideas that we kind of came up with. We thought about these for a couple of days. We talked about them a little bit last night, kind of in advance. But I think there are so many possibilities that these are just kind of things that me and Dylan are into. So I think this is out of all the episodes that we would love to hear your comments on what you guys think would actually be cool kind of collaborations and partnerships because there could be ideas that would line up perfectly that we never thought of. So please go down in the comments, leave your thoughts on what do you want to see, or hell, if we do really want to make a petition to getting a My Hero Academia set, if someone knows how to do that, let us know and we can actually try to, why not, make a shot at it, try to design something online. It'd be a fun little thing to mess around with. So that's kind of the two call to actions I have for you guys. One, if you know how to do Lego sets, let me know. That'd be a fun thing to try. And two, let us know what your favorite collaboration or ideas would be. And who knows, maybe one day they'll come to action and then you can say, hey, 5 years ago, I predicted that. And you'll look really cool for about 30 seconds. Hope anyone remembers that. But hey, at least you get 30 seconds of fame. But that'll be all for this week's episode. Thank you all so much for tuning into a very special presentation to the Shonen Jump marketing team of what the great collaboration partnerships are out there. We'll be back next Saturday with another episode. And of course, make sure to stay up to date to the channel with all of the Vigilantes and main manga updates that are coming out every week or bi-weekly, depending on the series. And we will see you all next time.